Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, we're going to be doing a flip through of all of my spreads in my Hobonichi cousin Avec for the month of February. So if you would be interested to see how I use my year at a glance, my monthly pages, my weekly pages, and then my daily pages in my Hobonichi cousin, then go ahead and keep watching. So we're going to go ahead and move my favorite little guy. He's just the cutest little addition to my little recording setup. But back to this. We are going to jump in my Hobonichi cousin to the year at a glance page. Now, the way that I'm using this page for 2024 is I am documenting all of the kind of important journal entries that I have in the back. I'm kind of listing them as an index here. And then if a particular day has a little gray dot, that means there is a picture that coincides with that journal entry. I found this to be a lot easier for me to go back if I'm interested to find out, like when my youngest lost a tooth. I can easily look through this instead of like flipping through all of my daily pages to try to find that particular entry. So that is the way that I use my year at a glance. This top part, I document the number of books that I read, which I read 9 books in February. The pages, there were 4,851 pages. I think that was the highest page count I have ever read. I had several very chunky books that I read during February. And then I also document my planning channel subscription increase, like the number of people who have subscribed to my channel for my planning channel. And then I also have a reading YouTube channel, and I document the number of increase or decrease of my subscriber count for that as well. So for the month of February, the very beginning of the month, it kind of went through just a normal typical month. Everything was going well. We had my youngest lost another tooth. There was Valentine's Day. My daughter had a high school acceptance to a magnet school, which we'll be talking about a little bit later. But then the last 10 days of the month were not so good. So we had, my husband was sick, my oldest got sick, and then that sickness turned into COVID. So then they both had COVID, and then my youngest actually started vomiting. She had issues toward the last of the month. She got sick several times, and it was just a chaos of, it was a chaos of a month. I did not get sick. I've had a cough, but nothing, no COVID, no anything like that. So end of February, not so fun. Beginning of February was a typical month. So that is my year at a glance. And now we're going to flip to the monthly page. I went ahead and bought the 6-month monthly kit for Coffee Monsters Co. So this was the February kit. And I have just been documenting those appointments, birthdays, and things like that on this page. In 2023, I used this as a weather and temperature tracker. I'm no longer doing this, and now I'm using this as an actual functional calendar to show all of my appointments and things that I have going on during the month. So this is my February spread. And now we're going to jump to my weekly spread. So I use my Hobonichi cousin as a functional planner. I like to see the chunks of times that I have meetings and appointments and things that I'm doing throughout the day. So I use this very functionally to document kind of what I'm doing and where I'm at for the week. And then typically I use washi as my really the only big decoration on any of my spreads, and then I do have little emojis and other little stickers that I will use throughout the week to kind of highlight specific activities. So, recording, reading, driving to work, and that type of thing. So we did have, this was kind of the first week of February. I also track my sleep so I can kind of see my increase or how much sleep I'm getting on a daily basis. I do start I document my workout plan, and then I have my to-do list that I try to keep updated and carry over from week to week if I do not get my to-do list accomplished for a particular week. So we have, again, same type of layout. There wasn't anything really big that happened during these first few weeks. I did end up reading ACOTAR, well, ACOMAF and ACO War. Those are books 2 and books 3 of the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. Those were my 2 big books that were like over 700 pages that took up a lot of the page count for this month. So I did end up reading those the first couple of weeks of February. And then this was the week of Valentine's Day. I chose a pink Tombow along with pink washi, and I really did like the way this looked. It's very decorative, but not overly decorative. So we have that week, and then this week is probably my favorite washi. It's a reading washi, and it's got like books and things like that. It's just, it speaks to me as a person. But we did this. That was this week. Again, nothing really big happened. But then this is kind of the week that everything went crazy. So on the 26th, my husband left to go on a hunting trip, which meant I was the only one at the house taking care of my 2 girls. But by this time, everyone was pretty much, I guess, the week before on here, the 23rd. This is where my husband and my oldest tested positive for COVID, but because of their symptoms, like when they were able to, what they're considered as day 0, my husband got sick on Tuesday, my daughter got sick on Wednesday, so they were technically had COVID pretty much all of this week, but starting on Monday, my husband no longer had COVID, and so he was able to go on a hunting trip, but my daughter was not able to go to school because she technically still had COVID on that day, and she was supposed to be quarantined. And my youngest did not feel good. She had thrown up the night before. And so this was kind of the chaos of this week. And this is, I'm recording this on Saturday the 2nd. So this is why Sunday is not completed. But I did on Monday, I was working, but with the girls home, I was able to upload some videos. I was very exhausted. As you can see, I only got like 4.5 hours of sleep that day. And then that was kind of the rest of the week. Last night, I got like 11 hours of sleep. It was desperately needed after this chaos because my husband came home on Friday. So Friday night, I was able to get a lot of sleep. I did not have to wake up super early on Saturday morning, so I was able to sleep for a very long time. So I went to bed at like 10:30 and I woke up at just right at 10 o'clock in the morning, so almost 12 hours, but because of like, it wasn't a full 12 hours like consecutive sleep, it was basically 11 hours of true sleep. But that was this week, and this washi was definitely, I was feeling it just because I was having to deal with sick kids. I was having to deal with not having my husband home and doing everything myself. So this was definitely me for the first few days, or the first like 4 days in the month, or the first 4 days of the week. I did do a big self-care day on Friday. After my workout, I took, I had like just a face mask and nice bath and bath bombs and all of that stuff. So that was definitely needed on Friday. So I'm now back to kind of where I was, and I'm this week was not a fun week. And now we're going to jump to my daily pages, and I can get to the 1st of February. So I use this first page kind of as a reading recap, so I get to see graphically how many pages I read per day in the month of February. And then I also have all of the books that I read, and then I also have on here the star rating. This is on vellum paper, so it's very thin, but the writing is a little bit small, so you obviously probably won't be able to read it, but this is just kind of my reading recap for the month of February. And then I use my daily pages just as a way of documenting things that happened throughout the day. And a lot of this is just, I use it so that way I can just go back as the day goes on. I do have, the second was Zoe's, my youngest, field day or field trip. And then it was also Groundhog Day. We had computer issues. I have that feeling quite a bit, especially if it's on a Monday. If it's a Monday, I usually have this feeling because I don't want to be at work after the weekend. I don't want to go back to work. So that's kind of how it was. The days that I do work on site, a lot of times I do not have a lot of writing space, or I don't have a lot that I document because I don't take my Hobonichi cousin to my office. I leave it here, so I'm usually not upstairs in my office where this is handy a lot during the day, so I don't really have a lot of journaling when I do go on site. But I did have on Wednesday, I did have an order come through from Coffee Monsters Co. So I got some more tiny icons. I have some book stickers, half day stickers, and then don't want to be here stickers because that was definitely going to be needed for work purposes. Then we had the 9th was my husband's birthday, and then my daughter also lost another tooth while she was at school. My daughter actually lost her tooth while eating an apple at lunch, which was very funny. She thought it was kind of hilarious because my oldest, the first tooth that she ever lost, she lost while she was eating an apple as well. So my youngest is just kind of following in the footsteps of my oldest daughter. So February the 11th was Super Bowl Sunday, the Chiefs versus the 49ers. I am not a big, I like to watch football. I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan, but because the Eagles were not in the Super Bowl, and I do love Jason Kelce and Travis Kelce is in the Chiefs, I was rooting for the Chiefs, and they did win. So yeah, and it was not because of Taylor Swift. I don't even like Taylor Swift. I don't have any of her songs, any of her CDs. I know a handful of her songs, and I'm not a Swiftie, so that is not why I was rooting for the Chiefs. I was rooting for the Chiefs specifically because I'm an Eagles fan, Jason Kelce, brother Travis Kelce, and that's the only reason I was rooting for the Chiefs. So, but they won. It was a very good game. It was very stressful. I was very, excited about the outcome. So then we had this day, I did like a little book documentation here. I usually don't write that much about books in my Hobonichi cousin for 2024. I did in 2023. But I have like a little paragraph on the books that I was reading. I also re-inked a fountain pen. So far, the entire month of February, and actually I think even in January, my daily pages, everything that I've been writing in my daily pages is using one of my fountain pens, which I'm going to be doing a fountain pen video, like my top 3 fountain pens that I have, and I'll be doing a video on those. And so I re-inked one of my fountain pens with the Diatramentis Document ink. That is what I have been using on all of my fountain pens, and that is probably my favorite ink because it does not smear. And so I re-inked one of my pens. We had Valentine's Day. My husband bought a dozen roses. I got 10 of them, and then he put one rose in my oldest room and then 1 rose in my youngest room for Valentine's Day. So we had that. And actually on Valentine's Day, I got a new fountain pen delivered on this day, so I was excited about that as well. On February the 16th, this was a half a day of school, which I don't understand some of the half day of schools and why they're doing it, but my oldest got a email that she was accepted into a magnet school in Huntsville. And I did I knew it was a good school. It's a magnet school for a reason, but I did some research on that school, and the U.S. News Report for the 23 to 24 rankings found out that the school that she got accepted to was number 447 in the nation. It was number 4 in all of Alabama high schools. It was number 1 in the Huntsville Metro High School, all of the high schools. It was number 1 in the Huntsville High School, not even just Metro, but just the whole Huntsville high schools, and then it was number 81 in magnet schools throughout the nation. So she's very excited about going to this new school in 9th grade. So we were very excited about her acceptance into that school. And then on this week, we did end up taking my youngest on the 19th to a nature preserve. It had like a pond, so my husband was fishing, and then it had like a playground, so she was busy playing. And then when I came back from the nature preserve, I went and ordered a new Kindle Paperwhite. So I went ahead and got that order submitted on the 19th. On the 21st, I had my Coffee Monsters Co. subscription received, in which I got 3 washies. I got a little notepad, a little sticky pocket, and some City Life stickers. I will say the City Life stickers I'm not super excited about. I do like this thick washi and I do like this washi, but like the taxis and the cars and the buses and all that kind of stuff, not really my fan, but it's okay. The 23rd was when everybody got tested positive for COVID, and this is where the decline of my sanity happened. So we had here, I was very exhausted on Saturday. Me and my youngest kind of was go out of the house and just didn't stop. On Saturday, on the 25th, that Sunday, my new Kindle arrived. So it was a really quick turnaround, and I was so excited that my Kindle came in, and I have been loving it since I've gotten it. 26th, my husband left for his hunting trip. On the 27th, I finally ordered some new glasses. I've needed new glasses. My prescription that I currently have is very old. 28th, youngest threw up again. Chaos. We had a leap day, very exhausted because, you know, if you have a kid, especially a young kid, a parent is exhausted whenever their kids are sick. So the 29th, leap day was a very stressful, very tiring day. So, and that is going to take care of my entire month of February. So that is all that I have for you in this video. If you've made it this far, let's see, can you put me in the comments some flowers or something for Valentine's, because this was Valentine's month, and we're gonna look on the positive, because this toward the end of this month was not fun for me. So we're gonna focus on the beginning of the month, all of the wonderfulness that happened at the beginning of February. So if you made it this spot, go ahead and drop me a comment with like a flower or a rose or a heart or something of that nature. And that is gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have not subscribed yet, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a good old thumbs up. I would love to know if this is a video that you like to see. And with that, I will see everybody or talk to everybody in my next video. Bye.